On October the 30th of 2021, new laws came into effect restricting who can and cannot board an airplane, a boat, or a train in Canada. Are unvaccinated Canadians now trapped behind a maple curtain? Today on Don't Talk TV, I'm going to look at the law that's been passed and analyze who is actually allowed to board an airplane, a boat, or a train currently. Hello, my name is Nicholas Wansbutter. I'm a criminal defense lawyer in Stratford, Ontario, Canada, and welcome to Don't Talk TV. Not long ago, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and Deputy Prime Minister Freeland jointly issued a press conference where they reaffirmed the government's commitment to creating a vaccine mandate, and not just a mandate, they're actually passing it into law, making it so that only Canadians who've received 2 doses, or 3 doses, or 4, whatever they consider fully vaccinated, as we know that's a moving target, only people who are quote-unquote fully vaccinated with COVID-19 vaccines can travel within or outside of Canada other than by car or by foot. I've made the argument in the past that this would clearly be a violation of the mobility rights that we have under Section 6 of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms that allow Canadians to move within the country and to leave or re-enter the country. And I've compared a system where unvaccinated Canadians are not able to board an airplane to a Berlin Wall or an Iron Curtain type of situation, such as in communist countries where a segment of politically unreliable population are not allowed out of the country. Is that actually the case? Again, the press conference by Prime Minister Trudeau and Deputy Prime Minister Freeland that I mentioned earlier, they made it crystal clear that this was their intent and this is what they would be doing.
With vaccine mandates, anyone who wants to fly on a plane in the coming months will have to be fully vaccinated. It is one of the measures we are taking to protect Canadians. There are measures to protect children flying on planes who do not yet have access to vaccines. And it is a recognition that over 80% of Canadians have done the right thing.
However, now that we actually have the law in hand, let's take a look at it and see what it actually says. So I've got open here the Government of Canada website. Under Transport Canada, we have the Interim Order respecting certain requirements for civil aviation due to COVID-19, number 43. So this one applies specifically to traveling on an airplane. And I'll put a link to where you can find this in the show description below. So it should be noted that the Minister of Transportation made this order on October the 29th, 2021, and it came into effect at 3 a.m. on October the 30th of 2021. Section 17 lays out the requirements. The section is headed Vaccination or COVID-19 Molecular Test, Flights Departing from an Aerodrome in Canada. And the definition of aerodrome is given earlier. Again, that's basically an airport. So, again, the confirmation, this comes into effect October 30th, 2021 at 3 a.m. and 59 seconds. And it applies to all persons boarding an aircraft for a flight that operates departing from an aerodrome listed in Schedule 2. Person entering a restricted area at one of these places. Applies to an air carrier operating a flight departing from the aerodrome and a screening authority in those listed places. Now, I think this is the key part here, Section 17.3. Before boarding an aircraft for a flight, every person must confirm to the air carrier operating the flight that they A, are a fully vaccinated person, B, have received a result for a COVID-19 molecular test, or C, are a person referred to in paragraph 17.4 sub 2 sub A or B. And then it just clarifies 17.4 sub 1. A person is prohibited from boarding an aircraft for a flight or entering a restricted area unless A, they are a fully vaccinated person, or B, they have received a result for a COVID-19 molecular test. And the exceptions are just for people who are just passing through the country, or they're entering an airport only to become a crew member, or if they have been a crew member on board an aircraft that operates under subpart 1, or participating in mandatory training required by an air carrier. So, the way the law is currently worded, it would seem that there are alternatives to receiving full vaccination. I assume they mean COVID vaccination. I have to mention that one of the things that makes this a terribly worded law is it's being fully vaccinated. Fully vaccinated against what? I mean, it's clear from the context that they're talking about vaccination against COVID-19 because the whole thing, the whole document is all about COVID-19. But in any event, at least for now, and I say this with the caveat knowing that these laws can change on a dime, and as we've seen over the last year and a half, they frequently do. But as of right now, and this video is filmed on November the 3rd of 2021, you can still travel within or outside of Canada if you've been fully vaccinated, or if you haven't been fully vaccinated but you've received this molecular test. Now, these molecular tests, they can be obtained fairly easily at places like Life Labs or Dynacare. I got one myself, not for travel, but just for interest's sake, to see whether I had COVID-19 antibodies. It cost about $70. I assume it's the same for the air travel version. There's a special version because this document lays out some specific requirements of information that has to be required in that. But again, as of right now, the maple curtain does not seem to be impenetrable. And while we might not like the idea of having to take a molecular test in order to fly a plane, at least there are options. And frankly, I think it'll be found reasonable, partly because over the decades, we collectively have acquiesced and agreed to, without complaint, to all kinds of invasive procedures, being patted down by airport security, being subject to body scans, being subject to all kinds of random searches. So we've really collectively set the precedent for these sorts of things being imposed on us for air travel. I don't think we can really complain too much about this at this point, and frankly, it does offer a reasonable alternative to vaccination. So that's the law as I currently understand it based on this document. Again, you can look at the document yourself in the comments section. Maybe you'll pick up something I didn't. But this video is not legal advice. If you need legal advice, contact a lawyer. You can call another lawyer or myself. Unfortunately, I'm still in the position of not taking new clients, but if you're watching this video a few months from now, you can call me. My 1855 number is listed below, as is my webpage. If there's show topics you'd like to see me cover, please send an email or leave a comment in the comments section below. And if you found this video at all interesting, helpful, or informative, please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and following us on social media.